Hey, so you're thinking about moving to Whittier, California. You're putting together a list of some pros, some cons, some good, some ugly, and you're trying to make a list to determine if Whittier's the right city for you. Well, look no further, because in today's video, we're gonna go exactly over that and help you just make a decision, either outweigh the pros or outweigh the cons to determine if Whittier's the right city for you. And if you stick around to the end, we're gonna talk about a little secret regarding some pros and some cons that maybe not a lot of residents do know about the beautiful city of Whittier. And we're getting after it right now. Hey everyone, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in the heart of Southern California, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notification, consider giving us a like, so that way you could be the first to know everything there is to know about our current market here in Los Angeles and Orange County area. Hey everyone, my name is Matt with Living in the Heart of SoCal team, and we get calls, we get texts, we get emails every day from people just like you who are looking to make a move here in Southern California. So whether you're looking to make a move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or even book a Calendly call with us via Zoom. You know, all the information is in the description down below, and we'd love to get to meet you and see how we could help you out and ultimately help you make a smooth move here to Southern California. So like I said, in today's video, we're gonna talk about some pros and cons. And to start us off for the city of Whittier, we're gonna talk about our pros. So just to start us off, the first pro is gonna be the community and neighborhoods. Whittier is known for just this diverse set of communities. Now, currently Whittier has 10 different zip codes, and more specifically, 43 different types of neighborhoods, all with different types of homes and styles, communities, and community events. More specifically, Whittier is known for its historic downtown, or we would call it uptown Whittier charm. They have a lot of that style throughout the city of Whittier, most specifically in uptown Whittier. It's something that you can see in some of the neighborhoods with the architecture, the style of architecture, and just like the different activities that they do hold in uptown Whittier. It's definitely something that if you are living in Whittier, you will experience a strong sense of community, neighbors looking out for one another, and getting to know your neighbors, and really just getting to know the community. We got farmers markets, we got things like where they would block out streets and you have vendors come out, or shopkeepers come uptown Whittier on Greenleaf, and you could shop around, have a nice night out with friends and family. I mean, it's something that you could definitely experience if you're looking to live in Whittier, and that's definitely a pro. You see a lot of like the historic significance, the cultural significance here in the area, and it's just what makes Whittier, or gives Whittier, its charm. And just so you know, the population of Whittier is approximately 86,000 individuals. And so you got a relatively bigger size city along the 605 freeway, or kind of east of Los Angeles, the suburbs area. And so with that comes a lot of communities, a lot of activities that you could enjoy or get involved in. All right. And so now when it comes to cons, we're going to start off with this one, which I think is kind of a con for the city of Whittier, and that's going to be easily accessibility to major freeways. Now, the thing that makes Whittier a little nice is that it is nestled away from some of the freeways, so you don't get a lot of people traveling through the city of Whittier to get to their destination, either through the 5 or the 605. But what makes that a con is that when you are trying to travel out of town, you are pretty far, or relatively far, 10-15 minutes if you're in the heart of Whittier, to get to either the 605 freeway or even the 5 freeway, depending on where you're going. If you're traveling to Orange County, you're definitely going to be taking Whittier Boulevard or Beach Boulevard or even Colima. And so that's going to be a little con I would consider of the city. You're going to be taking the streets mainly if you are, traveling to Orange County. Now, the good thing is that it's not that bad. It does make it a little bit of a private city because it's not close to the intersections, and it's not that bad. If you're thinking about it, it's only 10-15 minutes from the freeway too. So, but it could be a con if you're going to work in the morning and you're trying to take the 5 freeway down to Orange County, or the 605, or the 5 to LA. It does make a difference. So that's why I would consider it a con, but it's not that bad. Just something to consider if you're considering moving to Whittier. And that's what I would say. Okay, for our second list here on the pros is what I would consider proximity to Los Angeles, the actual city of Los Angeles. Now, if we're looking at dead time after traffic hours, no high rush traffic, you're looking at about 30 to 45 minutes to LA. Could be longer, give or take. You never know here in LA. But something that makes it as a pro is if you want to go out, maybe go to Koreatown, or get some food, different types of food in LA. It's not that far. You have when living in Whittier, you are close to the 605. You can take that freeway up to the 60 and go straight to downtown LA and enjoy a night out with friends, with family. If you're looking for a nightlife, that's something that you have there, and you could take advantage of, and then come back home, or you're in the suburbs. You're not in downtown LA or a different area where you may feel a little nervous or what have you. You're in the suburbs, and that's kind of that's a pro of the city of Whittier. You're not too far, you're not too close. It's just kind of like in that right spot in proximity to Los Angeles. That's something I would consider a pro. And for number 2 on our cons list, I'm gonna call it what it is. It's the cost of living in Whittier. Now, there's definitely something to consider in Whittier. What is the cost of living? I have another video out, just kind of doing a tour of the city of Whittier and kind of talking about these statistics, but the cost of living is relatively higher than the national average. So particularly in the terms of housing, it is higher, but that is relative to, the other cities in Los Angeles, or the county of Los Angeles. In regards to Los Angeles, it does rank pretty well, but in regards to a national average, it is higher. To rent out a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment house here, it's about $2,250, which is about 60% higher than the national average of like $1,400 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, apartment, what have you. Right, so it is a little more expensive, and the median income for families here is about $130,000. Right, and so just to have a comfortable living expense here in the city of Whittier, that's something that you could expect roughly for an individual. It's about $73,000, and so it's not that bad, as I mentioned, like relative to a lot of like the Los Angeles cities or the Los Angeles County cities, right? But in terms of a national average, it is higher, right? But this is what you get with the cost of living in Southern California. You have close proximity to the beaches, a lot of entertainment. You could go travel 2 hours up north, and then you're in the mountains. Go a little east, and you're in the desert, right? So you get this kind of beautiful climate here, right? But the cost of living is higher, which I would consider a con and something to think about. And when you're considering even purchasing a home here in California, as of 2024, you're looking at an average price point of about $750,000 for a single family residence here in the area. Could be higher, could be lower, goes into the 800 ranges, definitely. But, really dependent on how many bedrooms, bath, condition, all that stuff, right? Which is higher than the national average. But when you're considering Southern California, it is one of the higher cities in terms of pricing for housing. Worth it. All right, and third on our list for the pros of living in Whittier is really that there is high government spending for the city of Whittier. Most people don't know this, but there is a portion of Whittier that is patrolled by the Los Angeles Sheriff Department. And so Whittier is kind of split up by, 2 different municipal parts, what have you. But because of its population, it's a pretty bigger population and size, and being close proximity to Los Angeles, there is high government spending in Whittier. So what does that mean, right? So, because there's high government spending, there's more opportunities to building infrastructure, public services. There's more budget allocated to taking care of the city. And so as you consider this as a pro, there's going to be constant construction throughout the city of Whittier, and they're, constantly, fixing things up, making sure that this city's up to par. Yeah, you get your potholes here and there, and, that's mostly all of Los Angeles. But, for the most part, if you do drive through the city of Whittier, it's a beautiful city. It's well taken care of. We got things like beautiful parks, infrastructure for public transportation, and shopping centers, and all that good stuff that allow for a higher quality of life. And something that does lead into is that there is a lot of like preservation of like cultural and historical arts and significance around those things. Yeah, Whittier has a lot of like historical sites throughout the city, like such as Pico State Park or the Whittier Museum. And so these are things that are an opportunity for residents to enjoy, to check out, but also even like Whittier College. That's where government funds are put into and different education opportunities, different schools. There's a lot of schools throughout the city, and so it's something just to think about. Hey, the government's giving back to the people here in the city, and something to consider when it's when you're making a pros and cons list, especially for if you're looking to purchase a home here in the area. It's definitely going to increase the quality of living and the desirability to be in the city and live in the city. And third on our list of cons is what I would describe as the crime rate of Whittier. Crime rate is never going to be a pro, but I would consider it a con of the city of Whittier. Now, when considering Whittier is relatively lower on the scale of violent crimes, and so that's something to consider. While Whittier is generally considered safe, like any other city, they are going to have some areas that have crime or property damages or what have you, violent crimes. Now, based on my research online, Whittier does have a lower rating of violent crimes compared to the national average. I believe that on a scale of 1 to 100, 1 being low rate of crimes to 100 being a high rate of crimes, or I should say a high amount of reported crimes, right? So 1 being there's not that many reported crimes, 100 being there's a lot of reports of crime being enacted. Whittier ranks at 21.6, right? And the national average is about 22.7 for violent crimes. So that's a pretty good thing. However, when it comes to property damage or property crimes, Whittier ranks at like 45.6%, and the national average is going to be about 34%. So that's almost 10% higher than the national average. So what you do see is there are more property damages or property crimes being done in the city of Whittier than there are violent crimes, which means, there are, people experience more burglaries or thefts in their house, but don't experience as many violent crimes, right? But that is, that's just something to consider for the city of Whittier. I would consider a con, there is that risk, but like every city, you're going to have some crime, you're going to have something, which is why we have the police, why we have security, why we have public safety, which goes back to government spending. It's good that you have, Whittier that has a high level of government spending. They have that to have public safety, right? And so, but yeah, that is something I would consider on the list of cons here in Whittier. And finally, on our list of pros is what I would describe as parks and recreational activities. This is a little secret. You've got a lot of hiking and running opportunities throughout the city of Whittier. And I would consider this something that's maybe when you first get to know Whittier, you're not thinking about that as much. But, for local residents, people who've been here for a while, you got Colima, you got Turnbull Canyon, you got these trails, these hiking spots that have a beautiful vantage point of Los Angeles, the skyline and all the surrounding areas. You got beautiful hikes along running trail along, I believe it's Lambert, and you could even go to Uptown Whittier and walk up and down throughout the city. And so, this is something I would say, you got a couple parks throughout the city, a lot of opportunities just for you to go out with your families, maybe even go for a run, go for a hike, be able to just detach from any stress or work or activities that you may have that you could enjoy. And that's what makes Whittier beautiful. You're on the base of like a little hill mountain where there's hikes, there's running trails, all that good stuff. And so that is something I would consider a pro about living in the city of Whittier. And finally, on our list of cons, a little secret I would describe, or maybe something that's not well known at first sight for the city of Whittier, is that it has a limited nightlife. if you're looking to go out Friday night or Saturday night with friends or even family and have, a little fun night or something like that, something to know is that, Whittier is more of a suburban, family-oriented, atmosphere. And so the nightlife is subdued, I would say. I wouldn't say that's technically such a bad thing. I mean, but if you are looking to go out, have some food or some drinks or just little activities with friends or even family, it may be a little subdued compared to cities like Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles, where they're having events or festivals or what have you, or Pasadena or Santa Monica or Orange or wherever you go, right? But the great thing about the city of Whittier is that they do have more, the city does host a range of activities, right? So like you have the farmers market on Fridays, or you have other types of festivals that the city offers, and so there may not be such a vibrant nightlife, but the beauty of Whittier is that you are centrally located close by to these major cities that you could just travel out and and enjoy that. But it's just a little something. At first thought you wouldn't think that, but because you go to uptown Whittier and you see all these shops, but yeah, that's something to consider. Although, there are some beautiful local bars. There's even like the Uptown Whittier Brewery where, yeah, you could have a kind of like a subdued, chill, kind of calm hangout, nighttime nightlife with your friends or what have you, right? But that's something that you could consider as a little secret about the city of Whittier that most people probably won't know. So yeah, something to think about. But yeah, I mean, if you are looking for a nightlife here in Whittier, I would say go to Greenleaf. You'll walk up and down Greenleaf. You'll see a lot of opportunities for even like a coffee shop at night if you're a late night coffee drinker, some local bars, some great food, Mexican food, all types of food, so there's something to consider. It's not as big, but yeah, something to consider. So there you have it. Those are the 4 pros and the 4 cons that I would describe for the city of Whittier, with the last 2, just describing some maybe hidden or little secrets about the city of Whittier. And so I hope those are helpful. I hope that gave you a little bit of insight about the city of Whittier. My family, we've been in here. We've been living in the city of Whittier for years now, and absolutely love it. It's such a great area to be, and you have a lot of opportunities, well located. And so it's something that I would recommend to any of my buyers who are looking to purchase here in the greater Los Angeles area, Southern California area, if they qualify for that area. So like I mentioned, if you are looking to move here in Southern California, you want a smooth move, whether that's in the next 9 days or even 90 days, give me a call, send us a text, book a call with us. We are more than happy to answer any questions you have, set up a time to just guide you in the right direction and provide any value that we can. That's what we're here for. And so all the information is in the description down below. Consider giving us a like for this video, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Until next time, have a great day.